And we are live. Hi guys, it's Victor with a laundry walkabout video. A laundry walkabout video is a video you don't actually have to listen to, or I mean, you don't have to, I always screw that up, god damn it. Take two. A laundry video is a video you don't actually have to watch, you just listen to it. But if you can watch. Recently my thing is to show you things anyway, for those people who are interested in watching, or getting a feel of Japan. This is something, before we start the laundry video, this is a new thing where you actually can get an app that will help you find the closest parking spots. I thought it was kind of interesting. But anyway, I think I made a video demonstrating that somewhere, which I haven't uploaded. So many videos I've recorded but never uploaded. Here's an extremely ritzy store right here. How should I show you? It's kind of annoying. It's so nice because I can't afford anything in here. I mean, I can afford a lot of things, but I mean, I probably could, but it'd be like look at that beautiful chair. $7,000 for that chair. So there's a white guy behind me. Anyway, today we're going to talk about divorce and babies. I've seen a lot of babies recently. They're everywhere. I think I actually saw something about the birth rate going up. That was interesting. Now, if you're not aware of the laundry video, I don't stay on track. I let my mind go off on here and there, etc., etc. Let me just jump to a couple things that I forgot to say in the previous videos. Okay, a couple days ago I did a video about the guy who had his penis chopped off, and I mentioned how my initial urge is just it's almost impossible not to think that's funny somehow, and it's not fair. Of course, it's a terrible thing. I mean, a man actually got his penis chopped off. I mean, I can't imagine that. Well, of course, every man kind of imagines that, but like a horror. But yeah, it's a horrible thing, and I don't mean to, but it is kind of a gut reaction. And someone mentioned in the comments, like, how, isn't it terrible how people just laugh at that? And if it's, let's go this way. If it were a woman getting her clit cut off, no one would laugh, and blah, blah. Yeah, there is that, but there's something inherently funny about the penis, you have to admit. It's even funny looking. If anything, the woman's genitalia looks more noble in its naked state than the penis. Of course, this is objective, and I hate to go on and on about this, but anyway, in that video, I couldn't remember the movie that I was referring to, and it is actually Realm of the Senses. And it's funny how my mind only remembered the word vision. I guess I was thinking we have five, somewhere in the back of my head, we have 5 senses, and I only remember one, which is vision, which is my most popular sense. I like my vision the most. Men are very visual. You probably know this. Generally speaking, we're also good at spatial calculations. And I found that to be true with a lot of my female friends. Like, they can't figure out if a piece of furniture will fit in a certain place. They always screw that up. Of course, when I mention it, they deny it. They deny it. No, it's not true. And the other thing was, oh yeah, maps, of course. In Japan, they actually have a book. Maybe it's an American book translated into Japanese, but it's called Women Can't Read Maps, and Men, I don't know what. No, Women Can't Read Maps and Men Don't Listen. Was that it? I don't remember. If anyone remembers that, leave that in comments. Yeah, so the name of the movie was Realm of the Senses. Erotic asphyxiation was what I was thinking about, and the type of damage caused to this man, the type of damage is irreparable harm, and actually irreparable. Both are fine. I mean, you could not repair that damage, so I guess both are fine. But I was thinking of irreparable harm. I could only remember the R. It's funny how the mind works, right? Anyway, today we're talking, oh yeah, and on the marriage video a couple weeks ago, I got a really angry, crazy comment claiming that I have some responsibility to talk about how cheating is bad, and that's why people don't have children in Japan. I should somehow be doing something to fix that through my videos, which just seems kind of crazy because my videos are in English. If that were my intent, which it isn't my intent to fix society with these videos. I'm just talking, and you guys are listening. It's in, and then I read your comments and I think a little more. Food for thought. But The funny thing about the comment was it made all these accusations. Oh, this is something. Check this out. The funny thing about the comment was it made all these accusations about Japan that were simply not true. One of them being, they have sex orgies everywhere. And just for those of you who are not aware of this, the pornography that some of you are exposed to that show Japanese having like orgies on trains, that doesn't really happen. And as hard as it is, as realistic as those videos appear, that doesn't happen, okay? I'm sure there have been cases of like a couple having sex in a public place and they taped it. In fact, in Nagoya, there was a case where a couple were having sex in a van and they were actually making a porno movie and they were arrested, okay? But that was in a van, you know? And, you know, it's kind of risky, but I guess it's part of the fun of making the porno movie, I guess. I don't know. But, you know, when you see the trains with full-on rape scenes or, you know, orgies and stuff, that's not real, okay? Number one. Number two, those are all actresses. Funny story, when I first joined the YWCA years and years ago, we went off to a JALT conference, which is the Japanese Association of Language Teachers or something. And we went to this JALT conference, all of us, all the teachers. It was my first time. They put us up at a hotel, the school. And I was there with like 6 or 7 other people, only 2 other foreigners, and everyone else is Japanese. There must have been at least 5 others. Most people were fluent to some degree. And Susan, I shouldn't say the names. Everyone I say is Susan. Susan said, I've never seen one of these porn movies. Let's check it out. So you had to put like 100 yen. You had to buy, I think you had to buy like a card. This is a nice shop. Look at bicycle shop. Oh, cool. So you had to put like 1,000 yen into a machine and get a card, which then you stuck into a television. This is the old days. It's like 25 years ago. And we watched a porno. There was a bunch of pornos, right? Someone's throwing away that desk, computer desk, just to show you the crap. That's not a big deal. Who cares? Anyway, and I remember seeing one of them and being really horrified and shocked because a woman was getting like raped and it looked so realistic and it was out in the woods and shit. And I thought, oh, is this like one of those real rape movies, like a snuff film, except it's rape, you know? But in the next movie, the same woman was like was the mistress in a bondage movie, and she's like whipping this guy and putting her high heels in his face. So, of course, you might think, oh my God, you're seeing porno with your coworkers. Hey, I was 23 years old, and it wasn't my decision, and we're all sitting in a room watching it together, and everything's pixelated. So, how weird was that? Yeah, it was weird. But my point is, porno's not real, ladies and gentlemen. Newsflash. Yeah. So anyway, my video. So this guy's under the impression that Japan has mass orgies, and then you mentioned the penis festival as if it was relevant. Oh, this is a beautiful, nice cafe. I got to come here sometime. I'm always thinking of coming to this place. Like, that's not relevant at all. Oh, and there's a love hotel behind me. Look at that. That's a love hotel. Go to love hotel, make some love, and come over here and have a nice refreshment. And yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, like the penis festival is actually an agricultural festival. Now, there are people who say they go there to touch the big penis and hopefully get some luck. You know, they think it's good luck. Oh, I touched the penis and now I'm gonna be able to have a baby, right? That kind of stuff. But it's not a real porno thing. A lot of people, kids go to that thing. It's a family event. It's a big matsuri. It's in the middle of the day. It's at a big shrine in a regular old neighborhood. A lot of Shinto priests come out. So, you know, and then he talked about how cheating is the reason. Maybe that's the reason the low birth rate is because people are cheating too much. Well, first of all, if I remember correctly, I believe the birth rate is up a little bit. It's not anything that people are super panicking about, though I suppose it's one of those things that we should. Everyone's always talking about, oh, it's a big, crisis. It's a big crisis, but I don't know if it really is. The government does offer incentives for you to have children. And I did hear that if you have like 3 children, the 3rd child doesn't have to pay like daycare and stuff. So there's weird stuff like that happens. The government does do things like, I think they give you $3,000 if you have a kid to help. And there might be, I'm sure there are tax cuts and stuff like that, depending on how many. Oh, what's this? Oh, Bunsho Junior Dictionary. Oh, wow. I think there's a I think there's an alarm, I set off an alarm. Look at the flower, nice flower. Whoops, there we go. Anyway, so someone's just coming out now. Let me see, what else? Yeah, so this guy was like enraged in the comment section, like, you should be doing something to help this. and claiming all these things that weren't true, and the orgies and the penis festival and birth rate, and that's not my job. This is weird. This is an office building with stuffed animals in front of it. That's one of the things about Japan, I never get used to it. Like, you'll have like it's probably some reputable place. Look at those condom looking things over there. Little dildo, little toys. I don't know if you guys can see that. Right across the street. Right across the street from a beautiful house. Look at this beautiful house. Beautiful house. Look at that. Look behind me, there's a woman. I must have set off the alarm. Yeah, I'm a suspicious character. This is actually this area is, this is obviously a very nice street, but it's on the edge, on either side. That way I think it's kind of a seedy street. This way it gets all nice. It's getting all nice again. Oh, again, I don't know. It's starting to get nice. But here's something strange. Look at this. Korean market. There's a Korean market there. And Korean restaurant. Looks good. I want to come out here and check it out. I love Korean food. So, back to it. Yeah, the birth rate and all that, I suppose it is something we should probably talk about. 25% of Japan is apparently over the age of 65 now. I believe so. And I think by the year 2020, it's going to be like a huge number, like 50% or something. Back to the problem we're at hand today. Of course, this is a laundry vlog, so it takes me a while to get to what I want to talk about, but I don't care. And I think a lot of you guys don't care either. And that's a letter I got this morning, and an email from a man that said, I've made a huge mistake. And he's talking about his marriage. He got married many, many years ago when he was stationed in Okinawa. And he was in the military. And the government said you have to leave. So he went to Hawaii. It was the nearest space he could go to. Here's a Chinese factory, or a Chinese, what do you call it? A supermarket factory. I'm looking over there with my eyes. My eyes are like, oh, this is an old factory. Old, decrepit, torn down shambles. Anyway, and he apparently, I think he has 2 kids, and he was apart with it from his wife for like a couple of years. Then finally he got out of the military so he could be with his wife. And he really asked her, before they got married, he goes, are you sure you want to get married? Are you sure this is what you want? And she's like, yes, this is what I want. So they got married. Now he lives in Japan. He sold everything to get there. I think the only thing he couldn't sell was a motorcycle, which he brought with him. I don't know, maybe the military helps you bring things over. I would never recommend bringing over a motorcycle or a car. I would never recommend you bringing over any large things like that. I'm going to show you a door decoration. And now he's miserable. That's a long story short. Look at that beautiful, beautiful decoration. I forgot what those are called, but you find them all over, especially around New Year's time. これなんて言うんですかこれ。あれなんて言うんですか名前忘れた。これ。この飾り。証文っていうか。ありがとうございます。証文。Really? Feels wrong. Looks like a construction worker. Here's a liquor store. And he's miserable, and his wife complains about everything he does. And when he makes a mistake, she says, you're like a child, and he can't speak Japanese. And that's a big minus. And I know a few people like this who are in Japanese relationships. They don't speak Japanese well, and their wives, as a result, treat them badly. Now, this is a little touchy. And some of it strikes close to home. So I'm going to be about as honest as I can. Although a lot of you guys will not appreciate that, including maybe my family. But I've had situations. A big crow. I've been in situations where I have gotten in fights with my wife, and I've felt not just my wife, but other family members. Let's not just point one finger. Let's point fingers everywhere. I got in a fight with a couple family members, including my wife, and I came to the I came to that decision. What the fuck is it? The judgment? I realized, I came to the realization, that's it. I came to the realization in my head that they simply did not respect me. I'm gonna go in the store and buy something. And that's a hard realization to come to when someone you feel doesn't respect you or doesn't show you respect. I mean, they might respect you or they might not mean to be disrespectful, but it was my opinion. I was of the opinion that they did not respect me. Excuse me. And they were not showing that respect to me. So I told them, but wait a minute, before I say that, and here's something I think that is interesting and important, and a lot of you can get something out of, and that is that you can't do anything about that. You know, if people respect you, great. If they don't, well, that's too bad. But you can't make people respect you. You can't make people, you know, unless you're in the mafia, right? And I think it's kind of ridiculous when people think this way, or they try to get people to respect you. You can't do it. You just can't get people to respect you. It's impossible. So don't even try. But what you should do is be okay with it, because if you respect yourself enough, then you don't really have to worry about that. That is the opinion I have. That's my opinion. I don't think it's I can live without people's respect, honestly. Even if it's my wife or my brother. Now, of course, the way to full disclosure, I mean, to be fair to her, you know, we just had a baby and things were very stressful at home and tough. So that's why we were having fights and stuff, and we had a rough patch. You know, every marriage goes through that. Things are much very now. Whether she respects me or not is, you know, still debatable. I think she does. When I told her, I said very clearly to her and another family member, I said, I know you do not respect me. Oh, this looks delicious for 275 yen. Look at that. That looks really good. I think I'm gonna get that. A little more than my, oh no, but it's carbs. What should I do? I got tofu. I got tofu natto. I'll stay on that, low carbs. But I want something refreshing to drink. So I said to both of my family member and my wife, I said, I don't think you respect me. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. But at the very least, you know, when you have a problem with me, you can say it this way. Don't say it that way. Yeah, that's what it was. It was the way something was being said. But one thing I did realize much later was that I was misinterpreting a lot of what my wife was saying by tone of voice, and it's kind of a rough way that Nagoyans say something, which is not necessarily angry, but it's I have to tell you, it's something kind of Nagoyan. I realized later that Nagoyans will sometimes say something in a certain way, and it's not like they're angry, but they're not. That's just the way they say it. And I would always be like, why do you say it that way? Like, I'd ask a question. Oh yeah, I asked something like, where is the remote control? And she's like, you're the one who touched it last. I'm like, that's not the answer. That's not the, I mean, just say, I don't know. If you don't know, don't, that doesn't help the situation at all. You know? Although it's true, it's probably my fault. But, whoops. But my point is, you've got to learn to respect yourself and be able to live without other people's respect. And realize, oh, there's something, I want to drink something cold, but there's nothing. Okay, I'll try one more time. Sorry for that. So yeah, but here's the problem. When you're in a situation where you're constantly belittled by someone that you're married to, like the guy who's emailing me now, she's always calling him stupid. I need something bad for you. Real gold. She's always calling him stupid every time he makes a mistake. And he's getting sick of it. And he's actually asked for a divorce, and she said, no, I don't want a divorce. So he's basically in hell. He's drinking a lot, and it's really damaging his health, and he doesn't know what to do. What should he do? So he emails me. And that's a hard question. And I know, and it's not just him though, I know other people who have the same situation. Onegaishimasu. Konnichiwa. Chicken onegaishimasu. Karakuchi no ho. Right. Getting some food here. Some karakuchi chicken. Yummy, yummy. ポンタカードもありますが、ちょっと待ってください。はい、お願いします。時々ダメだ。あ、じゃあ、いや、諦めます。いや、はい。Like, public car's on its last legs. I gotta get a new one. This is just a point accumulation card. It's just the more you buy, the more points you get. And yeah, there we go. Anyway, another funny, interesting thing about Japan is that the number of foreigners who work here is increasing. Oh, peach. I could eat a peach for hours. これもお願いします。でもすべて、はい、500円ですよ。ありがとう。Okay. はい、ありがとうございます。はい、ありがとう。490円。Okay, we'll get back outside. Okay, always check the change. I don't usually suspect it, but. Oh. Okay. I think it's my student over there. I want to avoid her because she'll be like, "What are you doing?" Okay. So here's the thing. It took all this time. You're stuck in a bad relationship. What do you do? That's the question, right? Especially when there are kids. Now, I know a couple guys who are in situations where their wives don't care about them at all, but they have children, so they stay in the relationships. And they are Americans married to Japanese. So total now, I know 3, at least. And I have a lot of friends who have really shitty relationships. They're married, they're married to Japanese, and their wives, their wives are always in a shitty mood, always in a bad mood. But I can't, so there's this misconception from a lot of you that Japanese women are great and they're so nice and sweet, and some of them are, maybe, but a lot of them aren't. My wife was the sweetest thing before we got married, and it's not that she's not a sweet person anymore, it's just that we don't have the luxury of, she doesn't have the luxury of not having to care. So, things got serious. When things get serious, you have to, how do I say this? Some people don't know how to deal with it, right? So in her case, she doesn't know how to keep her positive attitude. Before we got married, she was really, really positive, always happy. And that's one of the reasons we got married. And then things change. After you get married, things just change. I was dying. Oh, that's so full of bad things. Excuse me, for those of you who suffer from, what is that disease called? The condition called where you can't stand hearing other people drink or eat? This something phobia, I don't know. I know some of you have it. The homeless guy sitting in the corner, lying on the ground in dirt. Things change, and if you let them go all the way, they can get out of hand. I've been married for, I think, 8 years now, and things have changed. But, I've been able to communicate with my wife how I feel, and things are better. I mean, we had a rough patch, and things are much better now. And the other thing is also cooperating, and giving up shit, giving up things that you have to do in life. That's one reason I do these unedited vlogs now, because they're not going to take a time away from my family. And although you might find them a bit long, for me, being able to do a video in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, look at this beautiful crow, and not having to spend hours and hours editing it will save me a lot of grief later. Beautiful crows. With my wife. And I'll be able to pitch in and help around the house. But yesterday she had to go to the doctor and get a doctor's appointment. So I came home, you know, I changed the class over. I had a private class in the afternoon. I asked them, can you come Friday instead of Thursday? And I went home at 4 in the afternoon, went to the nursery school, picked up the kid, met her there. Then we went, then she went to the doctor's, and I stayed home for like 3 hours and played with the kid. Now, it's not a sacrifice, of course. I mean, that's ridiculous for me to say that playing with my own kid is a sacrifice, but a lot of men don't do that at all, and don't do anything for their wives. And I know that this releases some of the stress that she has, just to go to something she has to do, like go to a doctor's appointment. And that's something that you have to do. Now, the guy in Okinawa, or the guy, I don't know where he lives now, but the guy who lives in Japan, miserable with his 2 kids, he wants a divorce and drinks too much. Couple things I would recommend. Now, I'm not a marriage counselor at all. First of all, you know, she asked for a divorce. She said no. He said, okay, you won't give me a divorce, then you're going to have to make some kind of cooperate with me. You have to cooperate with me. So he's going to have to make some demands to make his life a little bit easier. But the other thing is, like, drinking all the time, there's nothing I can tell you about that except find something to do. I know that if I have a drink at 6 p.m., then I'll probably will not want to do anything much of any, I won't be able to work that day. Like if I want to make a video, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So if I want to get any work done, I don't drink. I'll drink after the video's done or during the video. Like if I do a video, but I haven't done one of those in a long time. So, I mean, what I'm saying is give yourself something to do that you know you can't drink doing. Maybe driving somewhere, because if you drive, you can't drink in Japan. I mean, it's a really big no-no. So give yourself some activity that will take away your ability to drink somehow. If you can't control yourself, right? That's one thing, I suppose. Or maybe spend more time with your kids. Spend more time. Look at these beautiful bonsais. Spend more time with your kids. Maybe that will help you take care of the drinking problem. When it comes to your wife, that's really, really hard because I don't know her. Look at that clown up there. See that clown? Woo. You guys see that? I don't know if you can see that. There's a weird mask back there. But communication, you know, all you can do is try to communicate and try to cooperate. So you can talk to her and say, look, I understand you're unhappy. I'm unhappy. I want a divorce. You don't want a divorce. But let's try to make life a little bit better for both of us. So the only way we can do that is by cooperating. So tell me what you want. You know, tell him, that guy should talk to his wife and say, tell me what you want. Tell me what you want and I will do it. And in return, you know, get something out of that. But you have to you have to communicate. If you don't communicate, you're not going to get anything out of it. But you got to open your mouth, right? A lot of people are afraid. It's the funniest thing, couples, you know, they're afraid. Oh, strong perfume there. A lot of people, like, you're not afraid to have sex and get intimate and take all your clothes off and shit, but you're too afraid to tell each other things like, oh, could you wear a condom, please? Like, people are like, I'm too shy to say that. This is your wife. You know, you should be able to tell her. You have to tell her. You have to tell her. Even if you're shy, even if it feels uncomfortable, you just have to buckle down and tell her what you want. Because life is short. And if you can't get out of the marriage, at least make it a little bit less painful for both of you. We tore another building. Over here on my left is like some betting, some boat gambling place. It's a boat race cafe. The boat races. You go up there and gamble. They have screens and shit. They show the boat races live. But I'm, you know, of course, I'm not an expert on any of this, so I don't know what the best course of action is for such a situation. Maybe some of you know. But I would say you could even say something like, look, you don't like me, I don't like you, right? That's okay. Even say it that way. But we're living together, so let's find a way to make this as least painful as possible. And tell her what you want. Tell her what you want and ask her what she wants. Make some kind of contract. Say, I'll do this for you if you do this for me. That's all I can think of otherwise. But you got to open your mouth, man. You can't just sit there and hope things are going to get better. You got to open your mouth. If you don't open your mouth, nothing's going to change. And find other things to do that maybe can incorporate the kids or something if you have kids. But most of all, in this guy's situation, learn some Japanese. Like, really get on that. If you're going to be in Japan, if you're committed to this, if you're going to commit yourself to this, then learn some Japanese. That's really all you can do. But you have to do it, right? You just have to. So otherwise, I don't know. Oh, look at this. A wallet on the ground. Oh, that's weird. Some cards. A lot of one guy's cards. So I'm going to go back to the school. I'm going to call this guy. I'll tell him I have his cards. I'm going to pick him up. It's a nice bag. Money wear. No money in it. Huh? Oh, more cards in the back. Probably cards that he picked up from people. I mean, you know. Nice. Oh, that's a nice wallet. Okay. So, penguin on a wallet. That's Japan. Cute. Like I just said, cute and serious at the same time. That's funny. I mean, yeah. It's. I feel ridiculous even having to say this because, really, that's what you have to do. But do know this, that a lot of people do have are in the same situation, and I think I might have ended up in the same situation. And I still, I mean, you know, I have fights with my wife still. We have fights, right? Right, honey? She never watches my videos, thank God. But we still have fights, and that's part of life. It got bad for a little while, but then it got better because I talked. I talked about how I felt that she perceived me and how the way she treated me made me feel. And she did too. I mean, she told me things that she didn't like me doing, and she tells me things constantly that she doesn't like me doing. And I do my best to, you know, make things a little bit easier for her as well. So that's basically it. I hope you guys got something out of it. I hope you enjoyed the little walk around Nagoya. I'm back at my school now, and the people looking at me funny, the people who live here. And just to wrap things up, we started yesterday's video with this tree, and we're going to end today's video with this tree. Thanks for watching, everybody. 32 minutes. Wow, that's a big one. Talk to you guys soon. Oh, question. What do you think of penguins? Don't you think they're kind of creepy? You know, penguins? What's with penguins? They're not that cute.